So here is Sharpie at stable view in the 3-star, and I'm letting him move kind of back up. I had him he ran a couple of prelims in the 2-star and one did really, really well. So we're back at it at the 3-star, and he's quite good in the dressage phase, and quite fun to ride even every day. He really likes, I think, the discipline of the dressage work. So coming in on the center line, it was a little sticky coming down to the trot, just because he thought I wanted him to halt, but all in all, it was all right. And then into our shoulder in. And I really feel like he's gotten stronger in his trot work. He's always been really good in the lateral. He's pretty fun. You kind of like set it and forget it a little bit on him. But I felt like in this test that he was finally letting go of that tension and starting to push from behind and like letting me push. Sometimes it can be hard on these guys. I've had people comment, "Oh, he's just lazy." He's not lazy. It's tension that kind of gets in there, and for them to really use themselves. So doing a medium trot, I have to say this is his best medium trot he's ever done. He actually did it a little bit. So I was quite thrilled with that. And then I almost missed my halt because I was a little excited because it's supposed to be an A, so I was a little late with that. And now into our walk work. And again, this arena can be a little difficult just because the cross-country field is kind of off to the side, which you can't see. And sometimes vehicles are like moving around and people are kind of doing stuff. So sometimes the horses get a little distracted over there. But Sharps is doing a good job being focused. And he has a really good walk. You always want to see what the hind leg, where that's stepping, and you want the overstep from the front foot. And then into the medium walk where the frame changes but the walk continues marching. And into trot. So now into my second shoulder in. Again, he did that really well. And then coming into our half pass, he's just so much fun to ride in the half pass. He might have been a little bit stiff in the right rib cage this way, but just a smidgen, worked it right out, and it's really easy for him to go those sideways movements, unlike for Kaz can be a little bit more difficult. And then into our 10-meter circle. And now going to prepare for the canter. And again, Sharpie, he's the type of horse where I can practice the tests because he likes to know what's happening. So I've practiced these movements because, or else he kind of feels surprised by it and then I'll get the tension. So he's actually a nice horse because I can practice on the tests if I have to on him. Where I have other horses, for instance, like Kaz, who has a little bit more tension, and I have to break things up. So it's always really interesting with how different the horses are. Coming into the canter walk, it's pretty spot on. Just came up a smidge through the connection, but I was really pleased at how well he's listening and how he's on my aids. We're into our stretchy canter. And now preparing to finish up, kind of nearing the end of the test for our medium canter. And the right lead's his stronger lead. So it's kind of nice to end on that one. And then down transition to trot. And then coming into our final halt. And again, he scored really well. He scored a 29.8. Again, out of a big class of horses, I believe 40 some odd horses. So I was really thrilled with him. It was a pretty fun test to ride. So now I have Sharps in the show jump. And again, he wears the titanium mask. It seems to help him a little bit stay focused and a little bit more relaxed. It was interesting this warm up because he didn't touch a single fence in warm up. In my past show jumps where we've had clean rounds, we took down every single rail in warm up. So I came to the first fence and he really tried hard over it, and I thought, okay, this is a good way to go. And then coming to our second fence, again, he jumped that one good. I rode the inside turn here, trying to keep the hind leg underneath him. And then coming to this one, just got a little close, and he just caught it. But I wanted to try to keep him relaxed, try to keep the engine coming. And I kind of caught the flyer there, which he kicked out, but then I paid the price and just lost a little bit of the shape over the vertical. So now I'm thinking, okay, that's 2 down. Come on, Sharps, you can do it. This was a pretty big oxer, and again, he made a really nice shape and kicked out behind, so I was pretty pleased with that. And then coming to this grid, and then a steady 6. And again, I felt him really trying. And now coming down to the final line, it kind of felt like he thought, whew, okay, I thought we're done. And then we took this rail, and then the last rail over this oxer, he kind of just I think he thought it was a vertical. So sadly, I had 4 down, but I had some really good efforts put in by him. So it was unfortunate and kind of disappointing to have the 4, but that's how it goes sometimes. And then on to cross country. He's just a cross country machine. So he's so much fun to ride. Now coming to this, I can just sit up and keep coming a little bit here. And then he always looks for the flags, and boom, spot on the 4. And then I wanted to save some time here, and I just angled that little chevron, and he read it really well. And he is also an interesting horse where the first half of the course I have to go a little slower. He's kind of like a diesel engine, so I'm able to kind of pick up my pace as I go, but he has to have that time to like really settle in. And he jumped really good over that Canter X thingy. Lots of horses can peek at that, but Sharps is very, very brave, and he is really good at this phase. And then in that field, which you really can't see, is a drop into water, and then to a left-handed corner, and he makes pretty light work of that. And then we come back down the hill to an angled 2-stride. And again, he's pretty spot on here. And once I kind of can get the rhythm, it seems like everything just kind of falls into place for him. And just cruising on to this little Canter. Again, it's really nice to have a brave horse that he actually likes jumping ditches and walls and stuff. So now coming to the chevron, it's a turning question to a corner. I want to make sure I have a nice canter with a good shape. And then he sees it and does it really nicely. Really pleased with him. And we were we finished up about 12 seconds slow. But overall, he put in a really good cross-country round. So I was quite happy with him. And, our biggest weakness is show jumping. So that's what we have to work on a little bit more. But overall, Sharps is a very good boy.